Hello students, myself Anirban Bashurai Chaudhuri, Lab Assistant, Department of Chemistry, Jazz College of Engineering, Kalyan. You are watching the lab video. The paper name is Basic Chemistry Lab. The paper code is BChem Lab, and this is for Diploma first year students. Hello students, today I am going to show you the experiment. Is a very simple experiment, determination of alkalinity of water. Okay, so for determining alkalinity of water, first of all you have to understand what is alkalinity. Already it is discussed that actually it is the buffering capacity of a water and we can determine, we can find how much acid is required to change the pH of the solution. So it is actually the buffering capacity of water. Now the alkalinity of water is due to some ions which is present in the water, like hydroxide ion, carbonate ion and bicarbonate anion. If those anions are present, we will consider that water is alkaline water. So hydroxide anion, hydroxide, carbonate and bicarbonate anion, if it is present in the water, we will consider that water is alkaline in nature. So in our practical, we have to determine how much alkalinity is available. First of all, we have to determine which type of alkalinity is available in the sample. So what are the reagent is required for this experiment? First of all, the water sample. The water sample which is taken in a beaker, 250 ml beaker, water sample is available, and we have to determine how much alkalinity is there and what kind of alkalinity is available in this particular sample of water. Now the main reagent, that is the acid, is required is N by 50 H2SO4. So we have the main reagent is N by 50 H2SO4 solution. Now the indicators which is required, one is phenolphthalein indicator. This is the phenolphthalein indicator, and also the methyl orange indicator is required. For determining hydroxide, if the hydroxide and carbonate anion is present, then phenolphthalein indicator is used, and if bicarbonate anion is present, then we have to use the methyl orange indicator. Why two types of indicators are available? Because for the pH range we have to use two indicators, and we will show you which alkalinity is present in that particular sample. Now one 10 ml pipette, because we have to pipette it out 10 ml of the sample, so 10 ml graduated pipette is there. This is the 10 ml pipette. Okay, 10 ml graduated pipette is required. One conical flask, washed conical flask, 250 ml conical flask. This is conical flask, and one burette. One burette is required. Okay, so those are the reagent and apparatus which is required. Now in the burette we have to collect N by 50 sulfuric acid, 1 by 50 normal sulfuric acid we have to fill the burette. Okay, so already it is taken. So you know how to take the solution inside the burette. So already it is rinsed and we are taking the sulfuric acid in it. So it is there. Okay, and now we have to hang it. And the process is like this. Sulfuric acid is taken in the burette, and in the conical flask we have to pipette it out 10 ml of the sample by that pipette. That means we have to pipette it out 10 ml of the sample. So I am going to start. Before going to start the practical, you know that all the apparatus should be rinsed properly by tap water, then by distilled water. Already it is discussed several times, so you know that matter. Now first of all we have to check which kind of alkalinity is present in the sample. So for this we are taking a little bit sample in the beaker, another beaker, and we have to add some indicator of phenolphthalein. If the color turns to pink, then it is considered that okay, OH minus, that means hydroxide anion, and carbonate CO2 minus 2, that is present. And if the color is not changed, that means after adding phenolphthalein indicator, if the color is not changed, we will consider that hydroxide and carbonate anions are not present, that alkalinity is not there. So only bicarbonate anion is present. So first of all, we have to check it. So for this, we have to take little bit sample in it, and we have to add 1 drop of phenolphthalein indicator, and look what happens. So this is the sample is taken, and we have to add 1 drop of phenolphthalein. Okay, so after adding the indicator, look, the color is not changed. Okay, it is remain colorless. So what it will indicate? That means hydroxide and carbonate alkalinity, that means that anions are not there in the sample. So only we have to determine the bicarbonate alkalinity. That means if the color is not changed after adding phenolphthalein indicator, we will consider only bicarbonate anion is present, hydroxide and carbonate anion is absent. That means that alkalinity is not there, those alkalinities are not there. Okay, so we have to prepare out 10 ml now, 10 ml of the sample in the conical flask. So I am start pipetting, you know the process of pipetting. I am showing you very closely, look, and up to that there is a mark, it is indicated up to that mark we have to collect. This is considered at 10 ml. So we have to take little bit more like this, and as it is a sample of water, so no harm, we can pipette it out by mouth. Look, I'm taking little bit more, isn't it? Then we have to make up the volume by loosening the finger like this, and look, the solution is, the water sample is now going downward, and when it is touched that particular line, we will stop it. Okay, so this is 10 ml. Then we have to transfer it into the conical flask. And while you are transferring, just open your finger and don't blow it. Automatically it will transfer into the conical flask like this. And at the end, you just touch the tip. That is enough. Okay. So 10 ml is transferred. Then we have to give methyl orange indicator. As it is told that after adding phenolphthalein, no color changes take place. So we have to add methyl orange for determining the bicarbonate alkalinity. And after adding methyl orange, 1 or 2 drop, the color turns to yellow. You know the color change. Okay. Look at the color. The color is yellow. You can see the color after adding the methyl orange indicator in the sample. The color turns to yellow. Now what should be the color change? Now after titration, the color turns to yellow to pink. Yellow to faint pink color will be there. Now that color change, yellow to pink, is very difficult to understand. So that's why you have to add very minutely, drop wise you have to add from the burette while you are starting the titration method. You know the process of titration, already you have done it. So the color change is yellow to pink, which is very difficult to understand. That's why very cautiously you have to add from the burette of the sulfuric acid which is available in the burette. Clear? Now I am going to show you the process of titration. Already you have done it. So first of all, before going to start, you have to check the initial reading. Now I am checking the initial reading. Okay, so it is there. A little bit. Yeah. So it is at you have to check the reading. That is your initial reading. Then you have to start the titration. while you are starting it, you have to keep one white page under your conical flask so that you can understand the color change very well. Now you have to hold the conical like with your right hand if you are right handed, and always you have to start the conical, you know that, and by left hand you have to operate the stopcock. So like this. Okay. So this is the process of titration. Now I am showing you very closely. Wait. Okay, students. Now look very closely what happened, because that color change is very, as I told, it is very difficult to understand. Now add drop by drop from the burette and see whether what should be the color change. Color will be yellow to pink. Add drop by drop, do not give so many drops in one time. Now look, it will start changing. Yeah. Okay. Now look at the color. Look at the color. Initially it is yellow, now it is pink. So you understand the color change. It is now pink. Clear? So yellow to pink, you can see the color change for this titration. Okay, so now what you have to do? Now you have to check the final reading. Check the reading which is called the final reading. So it is there like 3.6 or something is consumed. Okay. Because it is actually initially it is at 9, now it is in the 12.6, so 3.6, that is the consumed volume. Okay. So students, what we have done, this is the color change again I am showing you. Okay. So pink color is there. Now what we have done still now, this is the a very simple experiment. Now first of all, for this experiment the process is like this. We have to take the sulfuric acid 1/50 normal sulfuric acid in the burette, and we are pipetting 10 ml of the sample in a conical flask, and we have to add methyl orange indicator. Why we are not giving a phylloxera indicator? Because before starting the experiment I will show you if the sample, whatever sample is there, we are adding, after adding phylloxera indicator, it will not show any color change. This pink color is not showing. That is indicating that hydroxide and carbonate and anion is not present. That means we have to only determine the bicarbonate alkalinity. For determining bicarbonate alkalinity, only methyl orange should be the indicator, suitable indicator. So we are using methyl orange indicator. After adding that indicator methyl orange, the color turns to yellow, and after then we will start the titration. Initially we will take the reading, initial reading, and start the titration. After titration, the color turns to yellow to pink. Okay. Now you have to check the reading, that is your final reading. So final minus initial, you will get your consumed volume. Now you have to repeat that experiment twice. That means 3 observations you have to take, and then you have to fill up the table. Okay students, I think hopefully all of you understood that method, because it is also a very simple experiment titration. Okay, so this is all about the practical part. Okay, then we will discuss about the next part, that is the calculation and table, doing the table. Okay, thank you.